Hey, welcome back to 2DG. We got another beer review. What is it?
Space Cake.
Space Cake from
Clown Shoes.
out of? Isn't it like Ipswich? I think it is. Stumper.
Yeah.
I think it's Ipswich, Mass.
Yeah, it is. Wow, good for him. Screw me over. Yeah, so we've done a couple Clown Shoes beers before. They've been stouts though. I think Imperial stouts. So I've had one IPA from them, and it was called Galactica. It was pretty good.
They've all been winners. I
was to say, this is one of them that you trust. But anyway, it's an Imperial IPA, I believe. No, it's just no, it's a double. Okay, yeah, double IPA. Screwing up, I'm all over the place. They use mosaic hops. I don't know if that's exclusively or what, but that's what they say on the bottle. If you don't know,
I love mosaic hops.
Yeah, Clown Shoes is one of those that kind of takes their label making over the edge. So it's
they
got
do.
like a guy and his dog in space being shot at by a layered cake and cupcakes. I don't know where they got the
Not
idea.
only do that, but they take their names to a whole nth level.
Yes, yeah. So anyway, let's
Crack it open.
get this open.
Using
The Comb.
from
Old familiar comb
it's
company.
a beast comb.
And we don't have a lot of subscribers, so we're not doing it for money.
No, man, it's cool. It's a nice product. So is
Highly
that American
carbonated.
made?
It did not. Yes, it is American made. And it didn't fly over, so that's good.
Well, what do you got to say about that?
I don't know how to respond.
Beautiful.
Go America. We're gonna make America great again. Don't know how, but we're gonna build a wall
Shut
too.
up.
I wasn't trying to be political. It just happened.
That's why we drink. Nevertheless,
Color.
it's a gorgeous looking beer.
Nice orange, yellowy color.
Crystal clear.
Yeah, which is kind of surprising. They're a smaller brewery, and a lot of breweries their size don't generally filter. I guarantee they filter. Of course, we do have some, about quarter of the bottle left, so probably all your sediments down there. Anyway,
I don't know. That's very clear. Anyway,
about
gorgeous
a
white
finger
head
of
too.
head, a half if you got big fingers.
It's just off white, I'd say.
Yeah. Let's get a nose on it. They use mosaic. I'm excited.
I know, totally. All right.
It's interesting.
It is because maybe it's a power suggestion, maybe it's not, but the mosaic and the maltiness reminds me of a cake.
Yeah.
Cake batter.
Yeah.
Cake sweetness even.
It honestly does. There's that generic sweetness that you can't quite pinpoint. You do get a lot of the grassy notes in there, which I don't normally get with mosaic. But you also get like deep kind of melon towards the end of it, almost like a honeydew melon type.
But there's almost a cake quality, cake batteriness too.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's one of the harder ones to pinpoint, especially being a double IPA that features mosaic. It should be pretty self-explanatory. But
It's almost like it's almost like the maltiness, sweetness is playing with that mosaic just perfectly.
Yeah, no, it
that.
is beautifully.
It doesn't seem like an artificial smeller, that you're getting.
Which with one of the beers that we haven't done it yet, but Molotov Light from Evil Twin has a vanilla type of smell. It smells artificial as hell though. But anyway, let's taste it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Interesting. Okay, you definitely know the malt's there. It's not overpowering or anything like that. It's just really sweet, kind of like they do say it's the malt base is based on like a West Coast style, and I completely get that.
Yeah, totally.
It's very like Stone-esque.
Not quite as thick syrupy.
Yeah. Right at the front, the bitterness, obviously, and then after that, I get lots of the sweetness, like stone fruit sweetness or like a melon sweetness, but at the same time, I get tons of the grassy, citrusy notes from it. The malt sweetness does carry all the way through. It's almost like a honey type flavor. And the hop though, it's raw. It's real. raw, kind of like a homebrew type raw,
Yeah.
but like done way better. At
There-
least from personal experience.
And the alcohol.
Yeah, the
And you
alcohol.
can tell it's a little higher. I didn't know what it was. I had to look. It's a 9. I believe that's what it said.
He just read it. I don't know. I didn't read it.
No, but you can tell from the flavor. I mean, you get that hop, which, like he said, real home brewish. But then there's an alcohol bitterness too. I mean, I don't know if that's what you want to call it, but it plays with the.
I get a little of the alcohol at the end, but I'm not getting.
Well, I think that's what works.
Describing.
I think that's what's working with the hop though. At the end, it's lifting that bitterness really well, really accentuating the bitterness on the back.
I'm starting to really question Mosaic because in some of the earlier beers that I had that used Mosaic, I got a lot more tropical fruit out of it. I'm starting to, like, the ones that we've had recently, I'm getting so much of the grassy notes out of it.
Yeah, and I'm wondering about the season, and not only that, but there's a bit of hybridization. You know, anyone who farms doesn't plant the same strain for miles and miles. So there might be some cross-pollination happening there that's changing it slightly, but the alphas are there.
Oh, yeah. Well,
but I would agree, it's a slightly different lately. But it's still fantastic. I love that Mosaic.
Okay, so let's get into the ratings.
Yeah, okay.
Rate beer, again, obviously. It is a double IPA or Imperial IPA. Rate beer for the style gave it a 96. And then for overall, they bumped it up to a 99. So again, in their world class or whatever the hell category they put it in. So, double IPA, category, style.
Hey, I'm getting a little bit redundant here, but I'm going to give it a 10. I don't see how you can improve on a double IPA. From a manufacturer standpoint, how are you going to improve that? I'd go 10. Go ahead.
I will give it a 10. I do wish it had more of a this is weird, like a crisp hop to it. Like it was sharper, I guess. Like I wish it was not necessarily balanced as well, which is weird to say, I know. Whatever. Point is, I wish there was a little more hop overload, I guess. But yeah, I mean, it's perfectly balanced. It tastes great. I can't detract from it. I wish there was a little more hop, but whatever. This is my favorite style. They killed it. 10.
All right. So overall, I'm actually, this is interesting based on what you just said.
What?
Yeah. Overall, I'm going to drop it down to a 9.5. And the reason I'm going to drop it down is because I would almost like a little more malty. This has got a lot of
high malt.
Yeah, it's got a lot of high acid on the back end, which, I tend to like that. But this
he
is
likes
that
acid on his back end.
I do. But this is that grassier acid.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
Flavor. And I just think a little malt to balance that out on the back. Because, this is a hoppy, stone-style beer. And the acids from the hops hang on long after you've taken your drink. And
that's why you just keep drinking.
Yeah, well, this is true. But I would like a little bit more balance on the back end as it hangs around. It's not really a fault, it's a preference, and that's why it's on my overall. It's a 9.5.
Fault is preference. Same thing. Being said, I'm going to agree with him. I'm going to drop down to 9.5. Mine is kind of for the exact opposite. I want more of the forward hop.
No, see, that I would agree with.
Yeah, I do get what you're saying. You get the acidity that sticks around. I, though, happen to like it and don't care. It's got the West Coast malt bill, like they said.
For sure.
You just know what a West Coast, what it is. It interpretates that perfectly. I mean, it
really
just does. If you poured this and told me it was a stone, I'd be like, okay.
I would believe that in a second. That's what I was thinking, and I would love to see Clown Shoes do a knockoff attempt at something East Coast, which would be like
Northeast,
like a Hetty, yeah. Knock off a Hetty or a Hill Farmstead.
Ooh, speaking of, if you want to send us a Hetty, that'd be tight.
Otherwise, you're forcing us to go there again.
It's a lot of miles. UPS gets paid to do it.
Hey, it's gonna happen, one way or the other.
Sooner rather than later, hopefully. Anyway, tangent done.
Sorry. So, yeah, I think it's interesting that you're saying. And no, it's not interesting. You know what? Because I would agree that while I initially thought it was interesting because I was going to say a little less hop on the back, but you're saying more hop on the forward, and I would agree with that. I think
on the forward.
I do think a little more hop presence on the front end. There's plenty of bitterness, but I want more hop flavor. I want that mosaic right up front.
Yeah.
So it's a fair beer, though. I mean, we gave
It's better than fair.
That's true. I'm saying it's a fair rating. We gave it a fair rating.
We gave it a 2DG rating.
We did, and you can't go wrong with this beer.
That being said, push the like button, smash it. If you dislike it, whatever, push that too. Go ahead, comment, subscribe, even see us a lot more.
There you go. Follow our Twitter if you really want to know what's happening next.
We do both platforms.
Yeah, and we'll oftentimes, we've given some beer alerts before.
Yes.
Things that we may not be reviewing, but we're wanting to give you a heads up that there's a fantastic beer out there. Twitter's another way you're going to get a little more up-to-date, real-time feed on what we're doing and what we think you need to check out.
Yeah, you know you love us anyway.
It's 2016. It's a new year.
16.
I'm looking forward to a lot of growth this year.
Tons of new stuff. A lot more beer reviews. Maybe a couple different channel type
some
branches
giveaways.
coming out. Maybe.
You don't
gotta
know.
hit subscribe to find out.
All right. Hey, thanks a lot.
2DG.
See ya.